So now the next step is to find for an ID or contractor. The reason why I said ID/contractor is because we don't know which one to get. I have seen a lot of YouTube videos saying that if you already have a design, then you go for contractor. But if you still don't know like how you want to like plan or design your house, then you go for an ID. I mean, like everyone wants to save their money, right? They don't really want to spend too much on renovation, but at the same time, they want to like, oh my god, there's a bee here. Okay, dah. Kalau boleh kita nak save money on the renovation part without jeopardizing the quality and what we envision for our home. You know, we try as much to work closely on that, you know. But then now the problem is, right, the quotation that the ID gave and the contractor, the quotation that the contractor gave, the quotation that the ID gave and the quotation and the quotation that the ID gave and the quotation that the contractor give, right, is more or less like sama. Macam if the contractor give us the same quotation as what the ID give, then might as well I go with the ID. Why? Because ID will provide me with the 3D rendering, ID will provide me the creativity, and I don't have to liaise with the contractors. You know, ID will do all the job for me. So part ni I tak faham kenapa contractor macam nak kena quote sama dengan ID. Is it because of like the material cost is increasing? If that's the case, then maybe okay lah, but shouldn't that be a factor for the ID to raise their quotation even more? Basically, there's like 3 options for us, which we're still deciding. Number 1 is to get an ID. So of course, if you get an ID, we just tell them, okay, we want this theme, so just plan it out for us lah. You know, like just handing it over, just telling them what we want and just handing it over to them. The second option is to get a main contractor. So basically macam a main contractor is someone who is the contractor. So we tell them the designs, the theme that we want, the materials that we want, then he will be the one that will find all his lobangs lah. Usually this main contractor have a lot of lobangs. So macam the carpentry works, the plumbing works, the electrical works, semua dia macam ada lobang lah. So he is like the main contractor. And then another option is we ourselves become the ID that's doing the designing, and we ourselves will become the main contractor that will be doing the liaising. So we will have to source out each vendor. Siapa nak buat plumbing, siapa nak buat electrical, siapa nak buat carpentry. So we really have to go out there to find these people. So these are the 3 options. But right now, we are asking around few IDs and contractors. Not really the third option yet, because to us macam overwhelming lah. We have to come down there and just, you know, find for all these people which we don't have any context. So we're looking at the first 2 options lah. We're finding an Instagram for the IDs and contractors that we may potentially want to work with. Oh yeah, backstory. Okay, we were actually very skeptical of whether we want to get this unit or not. No. Sebab I like it, but Yazid didn't like it because Yazid said it's too noisy. Macam he just want to have a peaceful night when he comes back home, but that place seems to be like a bit noisy for him.
But I was like, no, I like noise. I mean, like, I'm at home all day. Habis macam, it's always quiet. You can see it's always quiet, and I'm like doing my laundry. That's why I always open the door, open the balcony, so that I can hear noises outside, so that I don't feel like I'm alone, you know.
Dan then kita macam going back and forth, macam whether we want it or not, semua gini. Yazid was like, okay, fine, we can get this house, but then I just don't know how to like design this place. Sebab this place is like, I wouldn't say small, but it's smaller than this house lah. And there's a lot of walls that cannot be hacked and everything. Farid was like suggesting, okay, why not I ask one of my ID friend to come down and just give you advice on how you can design this house. But if you decided not to go for this ID, it's okay. You just dengar je dorang punya advice. I was late at night during one of the weekdays. We went to the unit the second time round together with the seller punya agent, Farid, and 2 of his ID friend. And then the ID was just telling us what to do and everything. We did get some ideas. We tell the ID lah, we wanted to go for like a wabi-sabi theme. So it's more of like the wabi-sabi theme that we wanna go for is like more of like lime wash and like macam stone concrete kind of theme. He said, oh, you need to put a lot of woods and everything. Like the way he explained his designs, right, it's like more of like Scandinavian already. It's like my current house already, which I don't want. I want like a wabi-sabi theme. Macam Yazid cakap, Kalau kita betul-betul kan tak dapat cari ID or contractor yang kita nak, and worst come to worst, right, we have to like do it on our own. We have to go for the third option to source out all these vendors yang tak tahu anything about designing, and everything will be relying on us lah, sebab the design work is on us, and then they are the one who was supposed to execute. And if we cannot find the one that can really execute our design well, rumah kita tak jadi macam wabi-sabi, babe. Dah macam WhatsApp bebe. Faham tak? Of course, knowing me, kita mesti ada requirements, especially after meeting the ID, right? We have our own set of requirements. So, we wanted an ID that understand what is wabi-sabi, and they have have an extensive knowledge and experience on doing wabi-sabi team. You know, there are some IDs or contractors that has a signature team, they call like something like that, like a signature team. There are some IDs where they specialize more on modern contemporary, some are Scandinavian, some are wabi-sabi. So I wanted to find an ID that specialize on wabi-sabi team, because they will have an extensive knowledge on that, on the materials that we can use, on whether it's practical or not and whatnot. And we want an ID or contractor that can tell us basically that our design is possible, maybe a few adjustments, not major adjustments. Faham tak? Macam if that major adjustments fits well and to our liking, kita no hal, babe, kita okay. But if you give us major adjustments that is tiba-tiba team kita dah lari, this is not what we want. Macam for example I wanted like a artificial skylight. We wanted to do it on at our kitchen, because our kitchen seems to be like a bit malap. So we wanted to have like a artificial skylight. Don't just tell us no, you cannot do it. Give us alternatives, like what? Okay, what is close to having an artificial skylight? Don't just say, oh, let's just replace with a normal lamp. Like, there's a reason why we wanted an artificial skylight, because we don't want that lamp. But now you're asking for that lamp. Yeah, that is the kind of requirements. I mean, like I tell you, me, I don't know about Yazid lah, but me, I can be a bit difficult lah. But you know, like, this is my home, you know. So like, mestilah kita kena really tahu and make sure that whatever we want, we get. Okay? Whatever we want, we must get. And also, again, not salesy, someone that doesn't push us, someone who is sincere lah. Of course, I think that is like the basic thing lah. Someone who is sincere to help us, not someone who is 50-50. Like our current house, we engage an ID, again, a big name, I don't want to mention the name. So this interior designer helped us to renovate the house, but it didn't really turn out well. But to be fair also, is because during that is a COVID period, you know. So we were already at the stage where we had to finalize everything lah, whether there's some defects or what, that we put that sticker around it. And we already put the sticker 5 years later, the sticker is still there, babe. Still there. I also don't know why we didn't bother to take it out. We want to make sure that the workmanship is also good, the communication is good and everything. So all these things, I think we have to go down there and meet them ourselves. And also relying on the reviews lah, but you know, people also say that reviews can be fake also. So we really just have to come down there and just ask them. Not only meet them, but ask them questions that can help us see whether this ID or contractor is the right fit for us or not. Regardless if their name is big or what, I don't care. I just want to see whether, you know, you guys meet the requirements that I want. So that is a long chat that I had. Cheers.
So I actually have already designed my house, because like I've mentioned earlier that I really want to save some cost, and I believe doing 3D rendering requires some additional cost from the ID themselves. I thought that maybe I should use some of my sim skills to do up the house design. I use Home by Me. I will like put here for y'all to see. Home by Me is a platform where you can freely design how you want your house to look like. I'm not going to show you like the walkthrough of how my house design is, but I guess I'll just give you like a sneak peek of what it looks like. I really suggest that if you guys know or have played Sims before, like me, if you can do it and you have the time to do it, do the design yourself, because that can really help to save a lot of cost on your side. I'm not too sure like how much you can save. I mean, like if there are things where you can save on, then you might as well just save lah. And I have no complaints in doing the designing because I think I enjoy doing like creative works, especially like this. And I like Sims, so there isn't any problem on the designing part. So I guess I just show you guys how it actually looks like. Let me just switch the camera. Alright, so this is how I decided to like design the house. I am not 100% done with the house, definitely. There are some things where we want to adjust on, but as you can tell from here, we decided to go for the wabi-sabi theme. These are the kind of color scheme that we're going for. There are a few things that we are still deciding on, like how we want to, let me just put it into this so you can visually see. So we are deciding on how we want to design the kitchen cabinet. Tentatively right now, this is how it's looking like in our kitchen. But then the thing is, it's not practical for me because when I'm doing my cooking, I usually have the working top in between the stove and the sink. This is based on your own preference how you usually cook, but I prefer it to be in between the sink and the stove. And I just found out yesterday that it's not possible for us to put the oven underneath the stove unless it's like built in, like it comes together, then it's possible. So this one also we need to do some adjustments. And then Yazid said that it's best that we have this L-shaped thing here so that whenever the kids go to school, they can have their breakfast here. And I thought that yeah, it's a good idea. So when I created like that, I started to think like, okay, if I want to like cook here, I always have the tendency to like go back and forth from the fridge to get the ingredients. So like I'm cooking here, okay, and then I have to walk all the way here just to get the ingredients, come back here to cook, and go back again to the fridge to get the ingredients and come back here, which is not practical for me lah. Oops. Boleh tembus Yeah, so which is not practical for me lah. You can also see that there's actually no upper cabinet because I don't think we need that much of a storage. Although like we do see a lot of kitchens in Singapore that has upper and lower cabinets, which I don't think is a necessary for us. Like I find that if I have the upper cabinets, right, the more we will put unnecessary things inside. Faham tak? So I don't need that. Maybe just a lower cabinet. In fact, I think we can just reduce this. We can just remove this and then just put this cabinet over here, something like that. Like remove one of the cabinet lah basically because we don't need that much of a storage. Okay, confident aku. Anyway, so this is what we envision lah, our house. Tengok ada placemat. Hey boo. It takes me about 1 week to design the house. Right now, I am just at the stage where I screenshot this. You can actually do the 3D rendering and send it over to your contractors to give you the rough quotation lah. But then the 3D rendering, I believe, is like you need to pay for it. So it's best that I just screenshot it because girl want everything to be free. So I just screenshot. It doesn't make a difference lah to me, and just send it over to the IDs on contractors. So that's what I'm doing right now.
I have already shortlisted a few of the IDs and contractors that I really want to work with. I managed to like reach out to them and ask them whether it's possible for them to give quotation based on the design that I've already done. So those that requires us to still come down to just to discuss further a little bit more about the details and everything, then we will schedule the appointment lah. We should pause this for a while and just let me clarify this. After going through the phase where we had to come down and meet them in person, we figured that you need to go down and meet them instead of asking via WhatsApp the quotation based on the design that we have already made. When you come down and meet them in person, then you will understand their perspective of the design that you have created. Then you can tell whether you can actually vibe with that person or not, because I think that is also important for you, because throughout that 3 months of your renovation process or longer or shorter, you will have to work with them directly directly. They are like the main person that you have to talk to. And then third also, when you come down to their showroom, then you can see, oh, this is the kind of team that they're good at, you know. Then you can see macam their showroom is like their portfolio, like what they can do, what are the materials they have. And then when you come down also, you will know whether they actually have an in-house carpentry or not. That is also important. One of the ID shared also that it's easier for them to have an in-house carpentry because then they will have more control of the workers. If they have an in-house carpentry, it will also affect the cost of the renovation. Not contractor, but more of to the IDs. Some of the IDs that we went to, when we come down to the showroom, atas is their office, below is their in-house carpentry. Then that's where we know, oh, they actually have in-house carpentry. They didn't really source out to external parties. Go down, set appointment. I know it's a hassle, but go down to their showroom, talk to them, see how their showroom is, and see how their workmanship is, and see whether you can really vibe with the designer or the contractor or not. So yeah, that is my tip. Back to the video. Oh yeah, another thing, right? Since we're talking about workmanship, if you are really that particular, right, what I would suggest is that you ask the ID or the contractor, where you stay? You know, just kepo-kepo. This is not just for the sake of conversation or what, you know, but it's more of like, if they are staying nearer to the house that you want to renovate, it'll be much easier for you and for him or her, because if there is any problems during that renovation process, he can easily just come down to your place. Faham tak? When we trying to find for the reliable IDs or contractors, this was what I look out for actually, and apparently most of them stayed near to the house that we wanted to renovate. And I think when we reach out to the company, right, they will, maybe like, this is just my assumptions, they just engage an ID that stays closer or nearer to the home that we want to renovate. Then again, no harm asking also. One of the ID, his house is just like across the road from our current house. So when we did the second meeting for our quotation, right, we just met nearby around here, so we don't have to go far to their showroom just to have that 1 hour meeting to discuss on the quotation. But then again, when you are meeting them for the first time, I would really highly suggest that you guys come down to their showroom. That will be like the first and the last time, and then after that you can just meet them outside. And if you are still skeptical of whether their workmanship is good or not, then you can request to your ID or contractor to let you guys come down to one of their projects and let you guys see yourself how their workmanship is. You can actually do that because some of the IDs actually asked us if we want to come down to see one of their projects, but we are really not, I mean, I know I say I'm a difficult client lah, but I'm not to the extent lah. Back to the video. We do have a few here that is in our list, and the one that is tick in green are the ones that I really want to work with. I really like how their design is and everything is like really in line with what we want. So we managed to like schedule 4 out of all the lists that we have. So this coming Saturday, there'll be 2 that we will be meeting. Next Saturday, there'll be another 2 that we'll meet, and then the rest, I guess like kalau tak jumpa pun tak apa, sebab they are not the ones that I tick. We're still trying to get in contact with them. Some of them still belum reply, but understandable also lah, because it's still during the Chinese New Year period, right? Some of them are still on their leave, so we will see. But if, let's say, if this Saturday or next Saturday we manage to find one that we really want to work with after meeting them, then I think we can just scrap the rest lah, because I don't want to complicate the process anymore. Just keep it simple lah, basically, right? If let's say they are really good throughout the whole process, their workmanship is good, their communication is good, and like everything is good, then I will let you guys know who our chosen ID or contractor is. And I think it's really exciting lah, because kita pun tak tahu kita nak ambil ID ke contractor, right? It's also interesting for us to watch back and see again. So today we are going to start our process of finding for the right IDs and contractors. So today we managed to schedule an appointment with 2 IDs. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. We are already at the first stop. We have to take the public. Here's our GPS. Over here. So our appointment is at 2 p.m. Right now it's, let me see the time, 1:30 p.m. So we're half an hour earlier. Hopefully we can like meet him earlier so that we can move to the second place earlier and we can end the day earlier. The second place is a bit further in because it's at Changi. I think near Jewel Changi. And to go there by public is very leceh. Because like I think just now when I saw the Google map, you have to like take the train, and then there's no way for you to walk. So you have to take the train and then you have to take the bus. I don't really like to take bus, but I think we need to get a new car.
Meet up and I just present to you.
okay.
So macam first meeting ni is more of like lebih mengenali what is your lifestyle all about. Because if I do based on my lifestyle, tak boleh apa.
Let me just explain. Based on this floor plan, right? We were thinking of making this room smaller.
Okay.
Because we want this unit itself doesn't have a balcony.
Yeah,
So we want to make
makeshift balcony lah yang sebelah sini ni kan.
correct. Kitchen wise, we don't want to have any upper cabinet. Okay, so basically kan kita punya theme we are going for is wabi sabi.
Okay, wabi-sabi pula. Sini letak lain lah.
Apa?
Sorry I show you. Here dia letak classical vintage. Sini. That's what I'm like, okay.
Okay. The reason why we choose your company is because we find that based on your Instagram profile, the kind of theme that we want to go for is somewhat similar.
Yeah, because when initially I thought like you are coming here for a vintage ini, so like okay, but then if it's wabi-sabi, I think it's much more easier lah for us to work with.
So what do you think of the ID just now?
Okay lah, I want to go home sleep. Good lah. Okay lah.
Good.
I don't know lah.
Good.
Wah.
Okay, so we just had our very very late lunch at Boon King, the famous soup kambing. But I ate mee kuah, and then now we're just waiting for the taxi to go to our second meeting. We actually pushed the meeting to 5 p.m. Actually, the next appointment is supposed to be 4 p.m. but we pushed an hour later so that we can have our late lunch because we didn't eat our lunch. Now we're just waiting for the taxi to come, and then we can go for our second meeting, and then we can end the day. We didn't expect it to be like 1 hour and a half. We didn't expect the meeting to be 1 hour and a half. I thought it's going to be like 1 hour. That's why I put as 4 p.m. But it turns out that we overshot and I pushed the timing. So now is what time? Now is 4 p.m. So I think by the time we reach there at about 20 minutes. Nice. I think about 20 minutes by taxi, and then we should be early. I mean the person is also already there like waiting for us. So yeah. So angry. No, apa dah? Everyone is like vlogging. And then there's Daddy, who is a navigator.
Smash the potato. Smash the potato. And then kakak say, what you call that?
Pretty.
Yes. Then, okay.
Kita gimana, Bi? Kita gimana?
Tanya ID. Yeah.
Tanya ID.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so I am about to head out to go and have our meeting with another ID/contractor. So this one is a contractor, but this time round Yazid won't be following us because he has work. I actually scheduled this meeting and another one this coming Saturday, but because we have some personal matters to attend this weekends, so we're not available during that time, and because of that we have to reschedule to today. The other one, we're still going back and forth in finding for the right time and day to meet this particular ID/contractor. So this in itself is already something that you can consider when finding for a reliable ID/contractor, which is to look at
how their response time is. So far, I've managed to reach out to about 12 contractors and IDs, and only these 4 replied me, and the rest just ghosted me. So the fact that they have a very long response time, it's already a red flag for us. So we don't want to waste our time, and we want to simplify the process of finding a reliable ID/contractor. So we're just going to strike them out. We're not going to wait for them to reply, and even if they reply, I don't think we will take them up because the response time is too long, and this is only like scheduling a meeting to meet them. We haven't even get into the renovation process yet, so we don't want to waste our time. We're just going to strike them out. So we're down with 3 IDs or contractors. So these 3 IDs/contractors, 2 of them are IDs, 1 of them is contractor. So this one today I'm meeting is the contractor. I'm really curious on how their perspective is, because when it comes to ID, they're more focused on the design aspect. I'm just curious to know what is their perspective on the design that I've made, whether it's doable and whether it's practical, right? And also another thing is that if you do not have your own vehicle like we do, I mean, you guys can always rent out your car. I think the best is to go for 3 to 4 IDs or contractors that you're really down for, and just meet up with them to discuss about their quotations and everything, because it's very tiring. Sebab apparently most of them, right, their location is at the east, and kalau dekat east near to the MRT semua tak apa tau. It's like the factory site area, kat Changi lah, dekat Ubi lah, all these places that is very ulu. We find ourselves explaining to them again what we want, this is our design and everything. So it's best that you schedule them in different days lah, so that you won't be exhausted yourself. Because part-part macam gini, I think if you need to meet them for the first time round, not only you have to explain to them what you want in your house, but you also have to study them. Faham tak? Macam study in terms of how they are when you are trying to explain with them about your designs. Because to be honest, the design that I want is a bit extreme lah, and looking at different IDs or contractors' reaction, right, is very important for me, because I don't want you to shut my ideas off. Faham tak? And sadly, it happened, which I will share with you after I'm done with this third meeting. So that is also another red flag for me, but apparently it's not for Yazid. I'm not gonna share with you guys more about how it has been for the first 2 meeting yet. I will only share about it after I'm done with this meeting, and I thought that I could bring Yazid in as well, so that you can hear more about his expectations, because apparently we both do have different expectations for our ID or contractor. So that will be interesting as well. We are currently just still waiting for the quotations to come to us, and then we will schedule another second meeting with the 2 IDs that we've met. So I think this contractor also, we will have to schedule another second meeting for the quotation lah. So today is just more of explaining what we want, and based on that they can give us the quotation. So I think that is all. So with that, I think let's just accompany me to meet this contractor.
Okay, after many train stops and a bus ride without airports, and nak tunggu bus tu punyalah lama, we finally here, guys. Oh my god, it's not ideal, okay, if you are traveling, trying to find a reliable ID or contractor and scheduling an appointment to meet them at their showroom, and the fact that most of them, their showroom semua is di hujung Singapore. It's so
much of a hassle for me who doesn't own a car to travel. So I am trying to find exactly where is the showroom. I'm still walking to find the place. Not too sure where is it. I have to cross, you know. I think I have to cross. I'm like literally following exactly what Google Map is telling me. Tapi korang nak tahu cerita tak? Tadi kan, I tengah macam happy-happy. Finally dapat duduk kat dalam bus tengah relax-relax. Sekali kan, bus driver halau aku babe. Dia cakap the bus stop end here. Usually bus stop end dekat interchange kan. Ni macam kat tengah-tengah dunia dia cakap bus stop end here. Habis aku kena jalan sih. Ni aku tengah jalan ni. Ni by right 2 minutes walk tapi pas ada cakap bus stop ending situ kan. Tu aku macam lost. Nampak? Semua factory. Macam mana sekarang? Aku sesat weh. Alright guys, I think I will wrap up the episode 2 because since we have already found our ID, and I hope that this is a really insightful episode for you on how to find a really reliable and great ID to work with. Okay, so we're gonna move to episode 3 where we are gonna start the real work and working with our ID to make our dream house come true. So stay tuned to that. Right? Bye!